Welcome back to Who the Fuck Are These Guys? How are you, Mako Shark?
I'm good, Matty. I'm very good, mate. We've got a huge episode coming up today, mate. It's been UFC 308 day. We're going to talk all about it. We've got social media phenom, Tedsthetics, in the studio with us today to talk all about it.
Maybe get a few helpful hints.
And not only that, we've got UFC's newest Australian signing, Jono Micallef. Can't wait to talk to him, mate.
Pumped to have them both in, Mako Shark. Huge recap, as you said. Big episode. I reckon we don't fuck around this week and we just get straight into it.
Let's just get right into it. Jono Micallef right now.
Who the fuck is that guy?
All right, who the fuck is? We are very excited to have this man on the pod today. It's the UFC's latest signee, one of Australia's up-and-comers. There's so many now, I'm losing track, but it is the newest Australian signee. It is the man, Jono Micallef, on the pod. How you feeling, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Still on top of the world a little bit. I'm starting to come back too now, but yeah, it's just taking it all in. Yeah, got to smell the roses a little bit.
Absolutely. We're bloody excited, Mako Shark, because we can now friend of the pod, and we have to say we don't lose, do we? The friends of the pod, even though they sometimes do.
Yeah, we
Don't
won't
curse me, boys.
No, we won't. Maybe we won't,
I
actually.
did want to ask you, though, because obviously you've got the UFC contract. Have you had anyone come out of the blue? Like, any lurkers that, you haven't heard from in a
Apart
while?
from us,
mate.
Apart from us, obviously.
There have been many people. Yeah, 100%. Like a few of them came out after my loss. I lost a lot of
debates. Yeah.
It just went down. But then after I won, a few came back. But after this one, mate, everyone just fucking the floodgates had opened.
Some bloke from grade 3 or something.
There's been a lot of that. But in saying that, there's been a lot of support. I'm fucking pretty lucky. Coming from the western suburbs, I feel like everyone can really relate to me. And there's been a massive flood of support.
So exciting to have another Victorian, especially a Melbourne boy in the UFC. We obviously got Farjack.
Yes.
Got Jake Matthews, we've got Big Jim Crew. But I just love, because there's a lot of Queensland, a lot of New South Wales, a lot of people from Perth, but let's just get as many Melbourne boys as we can get in the big leagues, man.
I think I'm the only born and raised from the West,
Back as Marsh,
from
we had Ben to go.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There've been a couple
blue.
country boys, but I'm true blue. I just don't really look the part, but I'm definitely born and raised. So
You are, mate. You are.
And we love it, Mako Shark, because in studio too. Because, we do the remote things, but how much better is it to have a man, and we've now got another guy we can get in here and have a chat
This
to.
won't be the only time. Don't worry about that. But, mate, take us through it. It's obviously been how long? Like about 3 weeks, 4 weeks since the fight?
Yeah. No, that would probably a week or two ago from the Vegas fight, because I fought probably about 6 weeks ago on Hex, and that's pretty much where it all started.
It was just bang, 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 wasn't it?
Yeah, fight day. My manager came over to my place, dropped some shirts off, and he had a message from, I think it was from Sean Shelby. Basically, they were all very cryptic.
Super cryptic.
I've heard from everyone that they always are, but they said, "Hey, basically, let us know how Jono goes if he comes out uninjured." And for me, it was like, "Fuck." That's usually we struggle to get replies at all, so that means something. So I went into the fight not thinking about that at all, as you do. Think, one thing at a time. Come out of the fight unscathed, and immediately that was the next thing I was thinking about, So I spoke to Justin. He said, "Nah, mate," told him how everything went. I didn't hear anything for about 3 days, and I was at work. So I went back to work on Tuesday, doing a bit of steel fixing, so I was fucking moving bars and shit around.
This is good stories, mate.
Yeah, fucking rust and shit all over the hands. And then my head coach called me and he's like, "Hey mate, how you doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, just working, same old."
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, good thing you won't have to be doing that anymore, mate." And I was just like, took me a minute. I was at work, in the midst of fucking moving bars around, so there wasn't, And then
The
he
boss
goes,
is looking at you like, "What are you on your phone for, mate? Get off your fucking phone."
Literally about 2 minutes after, Sammy's like, "Well, yeah, you won't have to be doing that anymore. You're going to Vegas. You're fighting the Contender series." And like I said, because I was at work, mate, I didn't even say anything. He's like, "You all right, mate? You fucking faint or something?" Yeah. And then I was like, "Holy fuck, like, are you serious?" And then, so he confirmed all that. And then, it's the Mrs. Old Man, the father-in-law goes, "Jono, grab those bars, bring those 1850s over." And I was just like, "Dude,
Nah, fuck off.
this is fuck off, mate. I'm going to Vegas. You can fucking stay out here on site."
Stick it.
Yeah. And then from there, the next decision we had to make was as you saw, the baby out there.
Yes. What a gorgeous little man.
Yeah, he's cute. He didn't come out cute, but when I came back from Vegas,
They
it
never
was.
do, mate.
My kid came out first. He had a cone head, and I actually freaked because I'm like, "Oh, Because no one in our friendship group's got like a weird looking baby. Everyone's been pretty lucky. And I was like, fuck my luck. I've got this conehead kid. But it's
gold,
within
mate.
like 5 minutes. Like it's so weird how it just like,
shapes back.
because it did it to get out. And then it's wild stuff.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild stuff.
Yeah, so you had the little man only, 9 days or something before it's
Yeah,
time
it
to
was
get
close
out?
to 9 days before we flew out. But he was due on the day of the fight, or the week. It was the week of the fight, give or take a few days. We actually had to induce him. So we went private.
Yeah.
We had him induced, and that's why I was able to spend a week with him. Otherwise, who knows? He would have come day of the fight, a couple of days before or
don't need
after.
that stress.
Yeah, and it was another thing too for me. Like, my wife has been there every single one of my fights. She's supported me all the way through it, through weight cuts, everything. She's copped it all, and this is her one thing, her one big fight. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to make sure I'm here for her.
Yeah.
So and it worked out and fucking perfect, man. What a story, it's
Absolutely.
fantastic. Yeah.
And especially like they announce all the Contender Series fights sort of, a few months out. You normally get the whole schedule, a few ins and outs, people drop out and some dudes jump in. But like, were you even expecting it? Like, obviously, a couple of weeks before, 3 weeks, 4 weeks before, the season's nearly over, and all of a sudden we're getting more dudes called up. Like, it was pretty, like, what the fuck's going on here?
Fucking oath, man, 100%. And especially because I had a loss the same year. For me, it was like, all right, this is going to push my career back a little bit. Maybe next year I'll be able to get on the Contender Series. And that's where we were at as a team. That's where everyone was thinking about. But for us to get in this year, and I think we had 4 weeks notice, give or take, which was no big issue because I just fought, in the best shape so far, so the stars really did align, and hopefully if I can just keep kicking goals and
Unbelievable.
And I want to know how you manage, because I heard you before we would just go back when you mentioned that you got a bit of a sort of heads up that, let us know if he gets through healthy. And you said you put that out of your mind. But how hard is that as a fighter who's got the ambitions to get where you are and where you're going to have that just like, I've got to win this fight, but if I get through and do it well, don't get injured, I reckon there's something brewing. Like, I know you said you didn't think about it, but it must be tough, I reckon.
Honestly, I think it helped me a little bit. And just because my mindset changed from like, this is the end all be all to like, there are other things out there. This is just like a step in the ladder on the way onto things.
Yeah.
And obviously that's sort of how you're supposed to be thinking, but it just took a lot of pressure away from me, which was, I don't think it would have changed the performance itself, but in the back warming up, it just made me at ease because it's sort of like, you know what, it is what it is. What's going to be will be, and outside of that, just control what you can control.
Pretty handy you went out there though and did win in the first round, just choked the man right out and fucking got it done, feeling fresh. Like, how good was that?
Yeah.
Like, especially after losing first career loss only a few months before Alden Bates fight, to come back and get that win straight up. How good was that?
Oh, man, it was fantastic, especially like you said, to come out of a war where, it takes you fucking 2 weeks to recover from it. Your legs are bruised, everything's sore. To come out from a fight where you're like, all right, I'm ready to go to war. You're ready to go again. You're fucking not even planning anything for the next week because you think you might be stuck on the couch to coming out and be like, fuck.
Is that like winning the lottery? Like, you finish the fight and you're like, fuck, I feel good here.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. And it's 2 fights in a row. I go back to back of 2 fights, coming out unscathed.
We've always joked about that, haven't we? Like,
We always see dudes, like leg kicks and all this stuff, but then you think, my God, what would they feel like the next day and the day after that?
It gets
fucked.
It
does get pretty rough. Some are worse than others, but like it is. Yeah, it's fighting. It's just what comes with the territory. Yeah,
Stars aligning too. I reckon, obviously, late call up for you, but then you look at a guy like Harry Webb, another friend of the pod who had that war in Perth against bloody Copham, or whatever the fuck his name is. I can't remember.
Concrete head.
That was one of the best fights ever.
We were there for that. He was he just wouldn't go down that bloke.
Incredible. But obviously Harry Webb's right on that sort of cusp as well. Probably would have maybe thinking he's going to get a call up at some point. If he had got through that fight unscathed, potentially, he might have been the dude that got the call. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for
could have
sure.
been.
You don't know.
Could have been. I think one of the big things for me is my record. Like, he's got a fantastic record as well. But in the record, the people who he has fought, I've fought and he has too, some of the best of the best, but I think that he's just still lacking a little bit of those super elite veteran
only
guys.
5-0, something like that.
Yeah,
He's still
and he's
very
got
raw.
that perfect record, but now he's starting to get into the upper echelon. But I think that
for sure.
the two, like his 2 last guys were veterans, but they were veterans in the featherweight division. You know what I mean? So I think he still has to break into that lightweight division. But
100%.
he's fucking doing good, isn't he?
He is.
He's a bad man.
You talk about like doing a pretty labour in sort of intensive job as well. I mean, we've always said it. It must be the hardest thing ever to train the way you need to train to get to that level. But then I guess imagine winter days, it's raining, it's shit. You're doing that. You must have have a lot of self belief to to have put up and done that, but it probably has helped as well because it's tough work. Now you get to go in and, this is your job, and you don't have to, you don't like. So I think fighters like yourself that come from that background of doing hard work during the day, like that's tough on its own. Then you're training. Do you think that's something that gives you an advantage?
100%. Yeah, I think that, like you said, the toughness, but also it's almost like you're doing strength and conditioning all day. Like my cardio has been something that's held up throughout all camps. I'm always fit, I think that my work is something that goes like is I've got to give credit to it for it.
Yeah.
But another thing I think is being young. If I say had started at 25 and I'd been doing this and I'm now 30, the body would break down because like there are times between work and training where I'm just like absolutely wrecked. But being young, body heals up.
You are a young man.
quick.
How old are you? 25
now. Yeah, man.
Mates, every week we have dudes on.
Body's break down getting back up off his chair.
We had Rob Whittaker on the pod, and I'm like, "You're fucking 6 years younger than me. Like, where are we at? We're so old, mate."
We're the oldest blokes ever.
We are, but like, mate, have you put your notice in? Did you get that moment? Like, go back to work and say, "Listen, boss, I'm fucking out of here." Have you? Is it obviously?
It sounds like the boss is he's in the family, so you got to be careful too.
Yeah, you can't tell him to get stuffed, can you? But like, have you had that moment where you just got to like, I don't have to come to work on Monday? Like, are you there?
Yeah, well, actually not yet. So I'll still be working probably 2 days a week, which is 1 day less than what I have previously been working. But I've sort of told him, like over the last couple of years, it's been from 6 days a week down to 5, down to 4, and he knows,
Yeah.
He's on his way out. And also like you get to work and you've got something in your mind of you're going to fight, 2,000 people watching you, cheering for you, and then you're there fucking ripping shit out of a bathroom. You're like, fuck this, man. I want to get the fuck out of this. And he can see that. I'm done. Like I'm on my way out. I haven't got the same motivation I once had.
But then we also don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because like people probably think now, coming out of the woodwork, as you said, you're in the UFC now, so like you've automatically made it. You're a millionaire. It's going to be great. But like, right, the work's only now just started.
100%.
I don't know what it is. We don't talk about numbers, but like you're 12 and 12, like. For people on their first contract. So it's not as if like all of a sudden you're a rich playboy now. Like now you got to put the hard work in.
Exactly. And that's exactly it. Like I've said multiple times, like you've just made it to the dance now.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like you guys said, now the work begins. And it doesn't mean like stop working. And that's why another reason why I'm still working is it's almost strength and conditioning, like I said, like fucking, like you don't want to get the grip strength, get all that shit going. But then on top of that, you have a bit more time to recover, so you can train hard, recover hard, and then get back into it and fucking do all that stuff.
Dana White was quite complimentary. Mako Shark.
I've got to ask about the whole fight.
So did you get, like, he obviously was pretty pumped about your performance. And what did he say? That was slick or?
That was slick as shit is what he said on camera. I don't think we need T-shirts with slick as shit.
And he seems to be kind of even when we talk to guys who've been there in a while, they don't tend to have too much to do with him. Did you get to have a chat to him or?
Well, immediately after the fight, I said to him, I went straight up to him. You probably see it on camera. I don't know if it was up on the mics, but I said, Dana, sorry, mate, I know you like knockouts, know you like finishes like that, but I can do that too.
Yeah.
And that's when he was like, no, dude, that was slick as shit. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. And then the caption clicked back, like that's
Could
our
be the first shirt. I reckon you should get the shirt.
Yeah, I reckon
that was slick as shit.
This is the start of it. I'm going to get that going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, take us through the actual fight, the whole fight week. Did you know much about your opponent? Because obviously last minute, some people don't even know who they're fighting. I think like fucking Aaron Toe didn't know. A few people don't even know like the week of who the fuck they're fighting on this show.
Yeah,
but how much footage did you get and how much sort of work did you get to do on the opponent?
The fight, when they gave us the email for that, he basically said the date, who I'm fighting, and that's it, the date, who I'm fighting and where, sorry. So it was at the Apex. Outside of that, we sort of just put it together ourselves. Lucky for me, all of his fights were on for UFC Fight Pass. So the promotion, I think, was United. Yep. They were all on there. So I broke it like immediately within like 10 minutes at work. I was just looking it up, breaking down what I thought wouldn't work. And look, we didn't even get to really show anything because once he did kick me, I caught the kick and the grapple sort of started.
Yeah.
But
felt like he was almost happy to instigate grappling as well, but probably not expecting like how fucking strong you are.
Yeah, and he was also weirdly strong, man. I had him in positions and he just got up. Like when dudes say just get up, he fucking just got up. Like, dude, honestly, like I was like, holy fuck. From mount straight up, and I was like, oh, okay. But then the second time I did it, I had a little trap set there.
How like satisfying is it to like obviously having like a triangle like that must be super satisfying because he thinks I'm on top, I've got the like the ascendancy, but then you just wrap that shit up.
Yeah, it was
just you put him out, you're telling him like he's out, man, he's out. Like, how good's that?
I actually wanted a bonus for fucking reffing too.
Yes.
Like Herb,
You
come
saved
on,
the
mate,
man's
give me
life.
some of your purse, mate. Give me something.
He's having a bit of a rough patch in the last couple of years, isn't he? Like
He was just waiting. Like
I'm telling you, it's outrageous.
He's going to die.
Kill him. When he's dead, then we'll
But
stop
what
the
was
fight.
the week like? Is it extra? Like, I love to know because it's like the biggest job opportunity of anyone's life. Like, it's what it is, a job interview.
Yeah.
How nervous are you? Like, was it extra nerves or were you just trying to put it out?
The
in your
nerves
mind?
weren't too crazy. I actually was getting more nervous in traveling. Like, man, I've only ever fought in Melbourne. All my fights, like 13, 14 fights, including my amateurs, they're all in Melbourne. So, like, for me to now do a 15 to 17 hour flight all the way over to the States, never even been there before with the team. It was quite nerve wracking. There was just like an extra level to it, especially when we got to the we did our like pre-fight stuff, did our interviews and stuff, and I was like, holy fuck, man, we are here. You know, you're walking down the hallway and there's Sean Strickland, there's all these UFC fighters, and it's just like you're here. You know, this is it, mate. You're at the show. Yeah, like you fucking. Then from then it was like it was definitely daunting. But then as the days sort of went by, and you know, went to the UFC PI, we got invited by a few guys. And same thing there, you see all the UFC fighters and you're like, all right, this is soon going to be somewhere I call home, you know? So like heading over to there will slowly become a little bit easier. But it was daunting for sure.
And what was it like fighting in that Apex? Like, it's obviously not jam-packed like other, I mean, you've fought in big crowds, you know, with Hex and things like that. I guess it's quiet, it's weird. Did that? It obviously didn't affect you.
Yeah, I think it made it easier because like there's not that roaring crowd. You know, you don't feel that energy. It was like you open the doors, no walkout music. You're walking down, fucking hear a pin drop. You know, there was like 5 guys that were supporting me that you could hear clapping. But it was quiet, which actually makes it a little bit easier. I think like not having the pressure, the energy that you're feeling. You know, sometimes you're in a fight and you hear the crowd chanting your name and you're like, oh shit, I need to do something.
It gives you that adrenaline spike, which might not help you, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
might
100%.
make you do something silly.
Yeah. But I guess that's something I need to prepare for in the future, but fighting in the Apex was really cool. But I've actually fought in COVID before with no crowd, nothing. So it was similar. It was very similar to that,
Who
you
was
know?
that with?
On Demolition. I think it was my second amateur fight.
What was that like back then?
Way back.
Like 0 people in the joint?
Yeah, there was literally enough. Like you're walking through, your walkout music's still playing, but it's just like it's almost as if you're just going out for a spar.
How violent is that? Like just fighting in like an empty, silent joint. It must just be such a weird feeling.
Yeah, for the people that are lucky enough to be there, it's a pretty cool thing because you hear the blows. You know, you hear the coaches fucking screaming at the corner.
I've always thought the Apex would be fun to get because it's kind of like
go to a fight there. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
It's a little bit like it's not obviously because it's the UFC, but it's a little bit like bush league in a way because it's like it's quiet. There's a few people here and there yelling out. You can hear everything. It's a bit more sort of in your face in that instance, but I think obviously you're probably looking forward to getting on some big cards with some huge crowds.
Getting an Aussie crowd, fuck mate, that would be incredible.
Mate,
in front of
unbelievable. Let me before we get to the Aussie stuff. Obviously, you got the contract. You're in Vegas, mate. Oh no, I don't want to tell the stories too much because you had the missus and a little 9-day-old baby. But did you get to push the boat out in Vegas? Like, you may as well fucking celebrate.
The unscathed in Vegas would be the best thing ever.
Imagine that. Yeah, get out of the fight unscathed. You feel fresh. You're in Vegas probably one more day or 2 days. Tell me you went hard.
Yeah, no, we definitely did. Dana gave us a bottle of Howlerhead, which didn't even make it out back to the fucking hotel between all the boys.
Oh, that's good.
We then went out, you know, got a bit of a feed and stuff. But to be honest, I was actually a lot more tame than what I thought we would have been. You know, like in hindsight, if I thought that I'd gotten in a fight unscathed in Vegas, fuck, I thought that would have been the end of it. But no, actually, I think around the
Maturity.
team.
I was going to
You're
say,
a father
it
now.
actually probably shows that you're guys that do that and get the contract go out and go crazy. You know, it's almost like they weren't expecting it. Whereas you've just gone out for a meal with your team, probably had a few beers, done the Howlerhead bottle, but it was, you know, it's just like you expected to win, you expected to be there. So it's kind of, you could look at it, and, you know, the guy that goes crazy carries on after that opportunity. It's probably like, well, be a bit more mature about it. And obviously you got a 9-day-old.
Yeah.
So you can-
Kind of like the team in the footy that like goes sick after they win a prelim, right? They just like act like they've just won everything and they go celebrate all week. But it's like, no, all you've made is just you've just got to the dance now. So like you don't want to celebrate too much because you said you've only just started now.
It probably even won before the prelim. You know, you just won the first game of the season.
Exactly.
Like,
You've just made finals now. Yeah, exactly. Talking about Aussie crowds, obviously you probably can't tell us too much, but there is February in Sydney. Is there any whispers?
No, not confirmed yet. So we're still just waiting. And I think, because I'm still like, you know, I'm the new guy on the block. Like, I'll just have to wait and see what they say. You know, I'm literally now like, just listen. I just listen and they tell me what to do and I fucking go there, jump,
Fight
how
anywhere,
high.
whenever, whoever.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like, it sounds good. Like, yeah, you're an Aussie, just get on the Aussie card. But fuck, there's just so many dudes now. There's so many Aussies. You've got even like Cody Haddon that just fought a couple of weeks ago, got his first win. You got Quillen, killed, hard to say, but he's looking to get on that card. Then you got all the other dudes that are already on the roster,
and they're all
trying
chomping
to
at the bit. I said, we've seen Jake's really been pushing for it.
Our man, your man as well, good friend of you, our man, Jim Crute, the big Cruty pie.
Jim, we love him.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm excited. He's back, baby.
Yeah, he's made it sound like there were whispers of him coming back in there.
Well, he said it, so I'm going to go with it on the pod. Like, Jim's fighting. Feb 9.
Well, he's putting up little teasers, wasn't he?
He's putting up teasers, so fuck it, he's fighting. I'm so excited about that. So, like, there's just so many dudes. Obviously, Volk wanted to get on. We don't know if that's going to happen. Rob Whittaker now, probably not. But, like, as you said, there's only 12 or 13 fights. So there's no guarantee, is there?
Yeah, that's the thing. But, like, it would be awesome just to save me, like, my first fight, not have to travel so far, have the team stay nice and close and all that. But,
be good.
Like we said, it is what it is, and it's business at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned before that you didn't have much, they sometimes didn't reply and it was a bit hard, communication-wise. Since you've actually, has it been a lot clearer with your management? Have they been a little bit, or is it still a bit kind of mysterious?
Yeah, I think it still is quite. Yeah, like you wait a while before for a reply, and when you do get it, it's not what you're expecting. So you're just like, fuck. But the other thing is too, lucky I've got such a good manager, Justin, that organises all that. So I don't even hear anything until I get the reply.
He's a good man. He's very switched on, mate. He's good.
Mate, and on the trip away, like I was obviously already sold on him, but mate, he fucking went above and beyond. Like he's
important too to have like good people looking after you in this sport because you can get taken advantage of.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially like it's all good when you're up and you're fucking winning this and that, but once you're losing and you got the wrong people around you, it's like fuck, mate. You realise you really are alone. It's
Western Suburbs fella, as you mentioned, and we know where you are now. What got you into fighting? Was it a nature of living in the Western Suburbs, having to
the mean streets of St Albans?
My cousins are from Sunshine, and when I was a kid, we'd go there and ride our bikes. It was a lot different riding our bikes in Sunshine than it was riding our bikes where I'm from. Yeah. You had a bit more pep in your step when you're on the pedals. But was it something that you did out of a necessity just because you wanted to be able to, in case, because, at times it's a little bit rough around the edges, or was it just you love the sport and
well, I didn't get into too many street fights back in the day growing up. My brothers, I'm one of 9, so me and my brothers, man, crazy.
One of 9?
Yeah, no TV, I've heard it, mate. Yes, the parents had no tally.
One of 9?
Yeah, so there's 4 boys, 5 girls. 5 boys, 4 girls. Yeah,
where are you in the mix? Like
I'm pretty much right in the middle of it. I'm the 4th, so just off the middle. Yeah. But we did fight a lot, more for food than we did for anything else,
Yeah, you would be, mate. 9 kids, there's not a lot to go around. You would be fighting over bloody LCM bars.
But there was pretty much no martial arts for me growing up, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was the big brother played footy and stuff, but because there were so many kids, I didn't even get to play any team sports. So for me, I sort of just trained with them when they did train because Dad would take us. But outside of that, I would never play games and stuff. And then once I got to my 16s, I was lifting weights and stuff, so I was just getting pretty much jacked. And I had a pretty good work ethic even back then for it. Like, I'd get big, and then we'd go on holidays. I'd lose a few kilos, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? This is for nothing, So, and then, I saw a few Anderson Silva highlight reels, which, as a kid, you see that, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do that. Mm-hmm. But it took me a couple of years before I really did. And then when I was 19, jumped into it and was pretty much fucking balls to the wall.
Never look back.
Really did. I was at a different gym when I first started, but the coach offered a fight. I jumped in for that. And backstage for that fight, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, honestly, I was like, this is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Shitting myself.
Young kid, 19? Just thrown into it, basically.
I've been training like 8 and 9 months.
Oh, God.
So it was like, it was like massive thing for me, especially because I've never competed before. So it was all new to me,
Yeah, exactly.
Must have been wild to be like you didn't play team sports, as you said, first sort of probably competition.
So hard.
The emotions.
I used to play cricket as a kid. I used to shit myself when I'm next in the bat. You know what I mean? Like put the pads on, you start just wanting to poo.
Yeah, you want a bat, then you put the pads on. You immediately don't want the bloke to go out because you have to.
Don't go out. I don't want a bat. I don't want a bat.
Exactly
but it's like I'm not going in a fighter, dude. It must be so like terrifying.
It was, man. Like especially the first one more than anything. Like you're like, fuck, do I need a shit or am I just nervous? You're just not. You're just not sure what's going on. Went in there. Won the fight, and from there I was sort of like hooked because from then and on I actually haven't got that feeling again because I sort of knew what I was expecting. And I started doing jits comp, started doing this and that, and really started involving myself in the sport. and from then on, found my head coach, Sam. And I think that if it wasn't for him, like, I really wouldn't be at this position.
I've met him once through gym. He's a good man. Shooter Hayward down at Combat One. Yeah. So how long you been there? And like,
well, Sam was fighting coaching at that point in time. Well, when I actually met Sam, he was training out of a local boxing gym, Tani Boxing, which was just around the corner
with the
from
big
our
Dave
place.
Hegarty. Shout him out. What a man, mate. What a man.
You got your little list ready, have you?
That's all I did, mate. We're all boys.
He's
He's one of the best.
Another one of them ripper blokes. He's a top bloke.
He's a fucking legend.
So Sam was coaching out of his gym back in the day, just doing his own thing. Had a couple of boys who, he thought had a bit of go. And my first time meeting him, a friend of mine introduced, and we sparred for the first time. And it was sort of it was my friend's fault because he said, I've got an MMA fighter who wants to meet you. Sam immediately was like, MMA fighter? Who the fuck is this cunt? One amateur fight against a debut. I wasn't an MMA fighter at that point,
Yeah.
So we sparred and he kicked the fuck out of me. And from then, we had chat afterwards and stuff. And with the amount of training that I did have, he said he saw a lot in me and we got on from there and I sort of went under his wing and since then he's
your man.
Yeah. And he's helped me inside, outside the octagon, in and out of the gym. He's a top bloke, mate. Like really, he goes above and beyond.
It's pretty incredible though, like, because you haven't really been doing it all that long then. Really?
That's right, yeah. I think it was 2015 or 2016 I started martial arts.
Just shows people though, if you've got you've obviously got a natural ability, you have to, because how quick and where you've got yourself.
But I think it's my mum's Uruguayan genetics, my dad's Maltese genetics, a bit of a mix there. Something went right or wrong, which fucking helped a lot.
Getting big when you were 16, you can't tell with the shirt on, but you have a fucking phenomenal upper body, mate. Like you are ripped to shreds.
He loves.
We get a little bit homoerotic on the pod, but like the man is put together.
Have you ever had a man?
I haven't not a man till you have a man, mate. But I haven't had a man yet.
You're dancing right on. You're skirting on it, mate.
Like, give the man some compliments.
Exactly. Well, I'm not as ripped as I usually have. I've fucking been eating a little bit too much. But thank you, mate.
You got to enjoy
put
yourself.
together. But is that like that's got to be genetics to a certain extent, doesn't it?
100%. A lot of my brother, like even my little brother, he's about to make his debut on Demolition coming up soon.
Another one.
And another one. He's like been training not that long for how good he is. He's got it. He really does. He's like a little short, stocky version of me. So it's cool. There's little differences in the physiques. It's cool to see.
Well, you must have, like you mentioned your family and you've got 9 or 8 siblings, whatever it is. They must be so proud of what you've been able to do because it's hard enough in a family of 2 or 3 kids, like you said, to fight and in 9 to make something of yourself and go out there and do it. It's incredible. Like they must be so proud of you, your family.
They are, and that really motivates me because you see how proud you make them and you motivate them to do shit, whatever it is that they're doing in their life. And it's inspiring, even for me.
If you get on that Sydney card, it's going to be hard getting everyone tickets. My God.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen
siblings, they've probably got partners, they've got this, your mum, everyone. It's going to be crazy, mate. Dana, can I have 53 tickets, please?
Yeah, I'll see if he can tee it up for me, but maybe in the future when I've had a few more fights, he'll tee it up.
And then having your family proud of you, but now you've got something to fight for. You always did have something to fight, but you got your young son and obviously setting an example and showing them, how to be the best person they can be. It's how awesome is it that you're getting to start that almost at the same time, and they'll grow up and have you doing what you're doing, set examples and showing them that anything can sort of be achieved if you go at it. So that must make you extra motivated and proud as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say more motivated than anything.
Yeah.
Just in the times where you come home and you're fucking wrecked and you look at them and you're like, now's the time to go, and do whatever it is that you need to do to push you through to the next level, even if it's just stretching. You're fucking wrecked and you want to sit in the couch, just stretch, man.
And it's so good too for say something goes wrong in your career or you have a loss, blah, blah, blah. You want to come home, you just want to look at your kid and go, it's not all bad, mate. Like, it's all good. Like, I think it's really important as well. Like, there is bigger things in life too when you look at your kid.
100%.
That will help you as well, I would have thought.
Yeah. I've got so many good things in my life going on outside of fighting that it's just like...
I remember when Volk got knocked out by Topuria, Matthew. It was your daughter's 2nd birthday. So, like, our life was over there for a few minutes. But then, like, you looked at your daughter, it's her second birthday, you're blowing out candles. I went home, I saw little Evie, I'm like, it's not so bad.
It's not so
bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking
It's crazy.
What do you like to do out of fighting, mate? You just mentioned you got great things outside it. Like, do you have any time to actually do any, like, is it hard to keep, we always like to ask fight, with your mates, and they're obviously on sometimes different paths of doing what we're doing, having cans, and, how hard is it to keep relationships? I guess the right ones know what you're doing and probably respect that, but what do you like to do outside of?
Yeah, well, my friend group's definitely gotten a lot smaller over the years. It's just naturally,
Yeah.
And I've got mates that when I do see, it's as if we fucking as if we saw yesterday. We get on like nothing. But then I've got the other friends that are just like tight. 2 or 3 blokes. So we stick fat. But outside of that, fishing, I'd say that's probably the only thing. I've always got a rod in my car, a bit of soft plastic. So if I pull up at a beach, I'm fucking getting a rod in there. Even if I catch nothing, I'll fucking.
It's just sort of therapeutic, You just get to chill out and zone out a bit,
Yeah, fucking oath.
There's not many things you get to do where it's like patience and waiting and just you and that. Like everything else is so chaotic. So it's probably a good thing to have fighting and then that is like the two.
I think so. Just when you can get away from it all, I use it as a time to, when I am stressed out, just fucking go for a fish, mate. Chuck a line in. And most of the time I catch nothing, but it's just time away. Especially now with the kid, it's like I think that stress will come up a little bit more. But
you'll be ringing the dial going, look, we've just got to stay back at training and just do a few more drills. Like you might have to put him to bed yourself.
I reckon fish as much as you can. I've got a mate that's the biggest fisherman ever, and he rings me once a week complaining that his missus says you can't go fishing, you got to do stuff.
I know who that is.
He's got the boat, he's got everything, and he's like, I can't have a fucking fish. He just wants to.
Yonks.
Hasn't fished in a long time. So I reckon get your fishing going, mate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before we do wrap it up, mate, tell us like the welterweight division at the moment is pretty competitive at the moment. Obviously, that bloke, we can't remember his name, he's champion at the moment. But you got Jack Della, another Aussie. He's coming up. I reckon he's trying to maybe fight Usman next year. He gets one more win. He's potentially looking for a title fight, which would just be fucking unreal for the country. But what are your, I don't know, you don't want to get too far ahead, but looking at the division yourself, what are like some fights that you would love, sort of dream fights, opponents that you could see yourself fighting one day?
I definitely think that Leon would be one that I could see, and he's a fucking tough fight. He's so good everywhere, but I think that just his style, I think it'll be a fun fight. Outside of that, there are fucking so many fun, tough fights to be had. There's fucking Shavkat, I think he's fighting for the title now.
That's in December.
Dude, that's a tough fight for anyone. That's the only guy I look at and be like, fuck, man, he's.
Because he's big too. Like he's
a massive welterweight.
Because you're a big fella, but he looks like really big for that division. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to sometimes tell, but he does seem it on the
scary. There's the mentality though of like now you're in the UFC, right? Is it you don't want imposter syndrome? Like you don't want to feel like what the fuck am I doing here? You want to have that confidence that you can mix it with these dudes. I remember speaking to Big Jim one day and him telling me like, I could beat that dude, that guy over there, I could fuck him up, I could take him down, and I'm like, that mentality of just being able to have confidence in yourself that like you're not overawed by these guys.
Well, I think that it's another thing comes back to Sam, my head coach. We've been talking about this stuff for a long time now. This has always been the dream, because it's happened a little bit early. It doesn't change anything, It was my 5-year goal from basically when I started. We wrote it down. I want to be in the UFC 5 years, and it's fuck, mate. We did it, Now we reassess, set our next 5-year goal, and we have to look into who we're fighting, how we would fight them, how we'd beat them, and we've been doing that the last year or so. Initially, when he first came up to me, he said, how would you fight Bilal? Forgot it. Yeah, is that his name?
Yeah.
He was asking me, and I was just thinking, is he fucking serious? Does he seriously think I could fight him? But then, like, once you break it down and you come up with ways that he thinks that I could do it, it's like it makes it a lot more realistic, and you can see it a lot more. But I think they're people at the end of the day. Like I said, when I went to the States and you run into all these fighters, they're just people, and they can get beaten.
And they all have the same thoughts in their head, no matter how good they are. They're thinking at the back, like, what the fuck, how am I going to do this?
Yeah, for sure. And if they really are that level that some people make them out to be, and I fight them and they beat me, then fucking so be it. I'll get better, just keep hacking at the bit.
The best thing you must be excited about now is that you've got this opportunity. You're not going to have a shortage of fights because, it's... The local scene here is fantastic, right? But sometimes when guys like yourself get to a point, we see it where there's time goes because nobody wants to fight you because they want to keep their it's a bit of that, like juggling their career and, they've got plans with their team. So you just must be wrapped. Doesn't matter who it is. Just you're going to get a killer and you get to go out there and never really, ever again, you're not going to have a shortage of opponents. So that must just be the best.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Look, I've been pretty lucky. I've fought 3 to 4 times a year since I started, so every year I've been super active. But look, I'll probably take a leaf out of Sean O'Malley's book where he says, like, you want to get those not easier fights, but you don't want to be fighting the top guys straight away. Make your money first, and I think that it's an awesome blueprint
Strategic.
if you can do it. But hey, if the UFC are going to send you like the top guys at the start, fuck, that's what you're doing. That's your journey then. But if I could go about it that way, that would be the way that I'd do it. It's a business at the end of the day. Yeah, we're fighters, but we're also businessmen, especially once you make it to the UFC.
Mate, this has been a great chat. I just love a Western Suburbs boy in the UFC. It makes us proud. Can't wait. You'll be back on this pod, I reckon. Next time we'll get the upper body out. We'll get some oil on you, looking good for the cameras, mate. Don't worry about that. But no, mate, appreciate you coming on.
All right, I've got an idea.
Here we go. What do we got?
Slick as shit, me with baby oil.
Slick as shit. That's a big banner on there. It'd be perfect, mate.
Fucking baby oil.
That's money right there. Mate.
Coco, he'll freak about the upholstery, but I reckon he'll allow it happen.
He'll allow it for us, mate. No, but mate, it's been a pleasure having you on. We really appreciate it. And can't wait to see what happens. Hopefully Sydney will be up there. Can't wait, mate. Just can't wait.
We're pumped, mate. Thanks for coming on, mate. It's
awesome.
awesome.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Good on you.
Awesome.
Well, Mako Shark, we say it every week. What a fucking chat that was, though. That was, I tell you, I reckon almost the best, if not the best we've had.
One of our best chats. Cannot wait to see that man in the UFC. I just love a Western Suburbs boy. Another Aussie in the UFC. Can't wait for him, Matty. Unreal chat.
Yes, and doesn't stop there, though.
Stop here. This pod doesn't stop, mate. I'll tell you what. We're flat out. It's been a shit day, so we thought, how are we going to lift the mood here? Got to lift the mood. So we thought we'd get 2 of the best in the fucking studio, Matthew.
Who have we got with us?
You tell us. No, you tell us. No, you tell us.
I get tripped up on the name, mate.
Tedsthetics.
There you go.
The social media phenom. Tedsthetics, however you want to say it. He's right here, right now.
Boys, from the west to the north, here we are.
Northern suburbs. I'm a northern suburbs boy. I love this shit. Let's go.
Nothing soft comes out of the north, boys.
We make nails look soft, don't we?
100%.
I like this. This is exciting.
I was going to say anyone but us from the north.
Well, I'm north now, but we grew up in the leafy east, so that's why we're not fighters, you see. We're not fighters. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Now, you mentioned it, right? Today was disappointing to watch for many reasons. What are we thinking? I was watching it on a fucking bunk bed on a phone people snoring, and just how do you even get into that bunk bed? The tallest bloke on earth on a bunk bed, Mako Shark. What were your thoughts?
My thoughts were no good. Yeah, man, Teddy, you're in the pod. Let's get your thoughts. 308 today, love it. One of the biggest events of the year. We're all excited. We were waiting for this for months and months. It's here. It's happened. What are your thoughts, mate? Because I'm all over the shop. Roller coaster of emotions.
Definitely a roller coaster of emotions. I think what tends to happen is everyone gets G'd up for the Abu Dhabi cards, right? Mm-hmm. So, like you said, there's that 2-3 months of anticipation, build up, and then to get results like that and that quickly, it was rough. It was very rough. Like at the start, we'll probably best to start it off with Shara. He opened that up.
Yeah, we'll talk main card. That was sick. The Pirate. He's a madman.
It was an interesting maneuver that he got the win with. I don't know if we've seen the double spin fist.
That's got to be trademarked by him now.
What was the Eric Banner movie when he had the double kick?
The keeper still trace, you reckon? Obviously the car's keeper still trace.
I reckon Shara Bullett's been keeping it still.
He's been working on the bag out in Bonnie Doon, surely, hasn't he?
For sure.
That was unbelievable.
Unbelievable finish, and I think it's only been the 11th one in the UFC. So to see something like that, almost felt like playing Tekken.
It really was. Like you're just button mashing. I'm going to go the spinning left, then I'm going to come around with the spinning right.
And then you hit him with the accidental combo, and you're like, oh, how'd I do that?
Your mates are hitting you up, and then they think you've been you're shithousing them by not telling them, but you secretly didn't know what you did to get that.
You were just spamming buttons, and then boom, get a knockout like that.
And then he's calling out our man fucking Israel. That's a big call out. I don't know if you'll get that, but that's a good call out.
Good call out and a huge step up. I think he's he deserves it. I think it's his 3rd fight this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been hammering it. Yeah,
Has there been a more frightening? He looks frightening. Some guys, might be as you go. You always go by the looks, but handsome and they look happy and then they're just very good at fighting. He genuinely looks frightening. His stock look is scary. So
One eyeball.
that's
Doesn't give a fuck either.
He doesn't care about it. And I think the scariest part is he got it through training. It's not even like a natural, like he was born with it or anything like that. So, yeah.
Does he run the glass ball? Do we know? Because
He's got something in there. I don't think it's just open wound.
Imagine in the way you just take it and just roll it across the table in the press conference.
Got the Bisping style.
You're half a pound over. All right, give me a second, boys. I'm going to do the Tracy Cortez, just instead of cutting the hair, just, take out the eyeball.
That would be big.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting because, like, obviously calling out someone like Izzy, that means Izzy will have to go to Middle East because can Shara fight anywhere else?
I think he's one of these dodgy sort of operators. Can't get over the border.
Glad he can't come in.
He's had a few indiscretions in his life.
Well, I think he's gone to America to be in a movie.
Oh, no, I think you might be right, yeah.
But I think he can't fight due to the commission. But
because of the eyeball?
Yes,
American commissions won't let him.
American commissions, probably Australian commissions.
Well, he's not fighting, is he then? Fuck that off.
Surely a few pineapples can change someone's mind.
Obviously, but
under the table.
you'd want to pay Izzy a fuck shitload to go to Abu Dhabi and fight a one-eyed pirate, I would have thought.
I reckon Saudi's got the money in them, to be honest.
Well, yeah, why would Israel even take that fight, though?
I think he wants to fight. I hope he fights in Sydney.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got Sydney coming up in Feb. That would be good. I think, what's his name? Caio Baralho, that Brazilian dude. He's a fucking legend.
Oh, from the Nerd Squad. They're great. What do they call it? The
Fighting Nerds. He's been calling out Izzy. I think he wants, I don't know if it's, you see on social media, it's rumoured and targeted, but they reckon maybe that in Feb.
I love how call-out is rumoured.
Well, pretty much. But yeah.
They're just sitting at the dinner table and they're like, you know what? I think this is a good call-out.
I'm just going to write the word targeted and then it sounds like legit.
That's it. And there's no real...
But that's a good fight. I like that fight because he's probably the next dude in that top 10 in the division. Like, it's had a few wins. I don't really see any other fight for Izzy, to be honest, unless it was like a Strickland rematch. But without the belt, why would you bother with that?
Yeah, for sure. And I think as well, it goes back to the argument of Strickland and Dricus. Well, after Hamzat's performance, like, does he really like just leapfrog everyone and jump in? You know, we've seen it with Steve Erceg.
Yes.
He leapfrogged everyone, went for the title shot. So why not Hamzat?
They're good, the UFC, like that, though. Like with boxing, it's fucking rankings and it's a lot. But the UFC, if you do something like Khamzat did or other really good performances from other athletes, they give you the big push, and they just ride the
wave,
the hot hand. And I think it's actually that's why the fans love the sport as much, I reckon, because you get quick, good fights that you wouldn't have thought would happen. Like 4 weeks ago, you wouldn't think he'd be leapfrogging anyone because we all thought Rob would win, right? So
easily, and like we said before this podcast, Bobby isn't a bum. This guy leapfrogged him, rushed him, essentially taken zero damage. And to win like that, it is absolutely crazy. All credit to him. Yep. But it's also sad to see.
Brutal. Bobby isn't a bum, mate. You couldn't have put it any better than that. Friend of the pod this week. Mate, it hurts. I tell you what, I'm almost really close to just stopping the podcast at this point, mate. It hurts, mate. It really fucking hurts. He just got smashed. Like, I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. Like, unbelievable. Like, you just don't expect that. Like, obviously, Khamzat is unreal. He's fucking dangerous and scary, but, like, to do that against Rob Whittaker, mate, what the fuck?
It's not an easy feat, but, like, I think as well now raises the question of what's next for Bobby?
Well, good question. I don't even want to know. Get those teeth fixed.
I think he gets his jaw put back into that was unbelievable.
Was it like the teeth pushed back?
Yeah.
I heard from someone else as well. Yeah, like his jaw did dislocate and the teeth just went, and the 3 middle teeth just got bent backwards. Like, what the fuck, mate?
And that elbow didn't even look deadly.
Obviously, the elbow probably did something, and then just the sheer force of the squeeze, like the face crank must have just fucked him.
Shows the power. And it's weird we've never seen that, but you did mention it was like a timing of the mouth being open.
He had an open mouth when he got the crank on, I think, so that obviously contributed a bit to the jaw just like giving way. But to see Rob Whittaker like tap like that, like something's happened, don't you?
And not only that, like it wasn't really locked in, right?
Nah, everyone was like, it wasn't even locked in, it wasn't under the chin, but like his face was getting fucking squashed.
For sure, and like almost felt like when that first initial tap, I thought it was like just grabbing his wrist, trying to get that wrist control. But unfortunately, it comes out the other end.
Horrible. And we like to say friends of the pod don't lose, Matthew.
They don't, mate.
However, if they do lose, they lose to some of the best in the game.
Well, that's it. No one. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't lose. He goes home to his beautiful family.
He's got 5 kids.
That's why we say.
Yeah, they don't lose. They're still winners. He's still a winner.
Lose a fight, but you don't lose.
He's a winner. What is next for Rob, though? Good question.
It is a good question.
What do you reckon? Because where do you go? Like, fuck.
I don't know where he goes.
It depends because like with that division, you have like all of these So you got obviously Sean Strickland, Dricus. Well, oh man, maybe Israel.
Oh, that's a good question. We asked him about that actually last week. Like, would he fight? Is he, like he wasn't like adamant that he wants that fight back, but
If it was on his path to
if it's on his path back to gold, then he would do it. They're both, in that position, aren't they? Where they're both sort of out of the title picture now, I guess.
Which is interesting that you would get that fight now too in the belts on him, but it probably is almost not a bad fight for both men.
Definitely, especially in
Imagine
Australia.
that in Sydney. Fuck, I never thought of that until you've just mentioned it.
You know,
That's why we bought him in, you see.
mate,
I like that.
we got the matchmaking mind here.
Got the best brains for the business. Imagine we get Rob Izzy, like
do
a co-main.
a targeted post.
I'm gonna write that
Targeted.
down, yeah.
Who the fuck are these guys?
Breaking
Targeted.
news.
Breaking.
Izzy Rob targeted Feb 9. I like
Just
it.
get Dana White with the yellow background, you're set.
That could happen though.
Man, if there's a quick turnaround,
Although
get Bobby on a trip to Turkey, get those teeth sorted,
Absolutely.
and you never know. We're on.
Yeah, no, this could be interesting. Comes out though, I reckon you're right. He leapfrogs. I want to see him for the title. Only sticking point is, can the dude fight internationally? Like, what's going on there? You see, I think
He's coming here.
Well, he's coming here, number one.
He's coming here, yes.
Number
Can he
two.
fight here?
Did you see Donald Trump's recent post about Hamza?
Didn't you tell us? Let's go.
So
What do we got?
recently on Donald Trump's Instagram account, he reposted a video of Hamza's interview.
Mm-hmm.
And this clip, a journalist asked Hamza, he's like to him, are you able to come to America and fight?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, of course, but I need Donald Trump to win.
Oh, righto, to like pardon him or some shit. Here we go.
So, when and obviously he's cornered by the Chechenians'
I know,
leader
yeah,
son.
the warlords.
Exactly. So, he's got to bring his whole team over.
I don't want to upset the warlord on this pod, so I won't
Definitely.
say too
So
much.
he's got to bring his whole team over. And, they might need a bit of DT treatment.
Interesting.
Don's clever. He's just got every UFC fan.
So what,
in
Don
America
put that
that
up and was like, yes, vote
This is
for
what
me.
a real fighter sounds like.
All right.
Is what he said. So, vote for him if you want Hamza in Vegas. But even like him coming to Australia shocked me, to be honest.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Because like when it first got announced, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that going to happen?
And dude, I went in confident that Bobby has got something in him to sort of finish him, morale be low.
I thought
Would you want to come to Australia after something like
correct.
that?
he's going to
Yeah.
be fucking flying.
Here. He's
I'm
gonna
nervous
be
for a
flying.
friend of ours too, because he said, I'm coming to your house.
I am, man. Big Nick Cody. Yeah, he's clipping old
Said,
comes
shut
out.
the fuck up, I'm coming to your house. And I'm like, I said, to Nick,
Nick and Hamza.
He's going to storm the Fox FM breakfast
we're going to
studio.
need extra security at the Cody residence.
He wouldn't be so confident, would he, if he was right there? I didn't ask you.
But hey, got to hand it to him, man. He was calm, cool, collected. Both
Unbelievable.
Nick
Yes.
and Hamza.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I expected him to pop off, but no, they kept it cool.
He did an incredible job, I thought.
Nick was good over there.
Yeah,
He's very good
He's
at it.
exactly what you would want him to do. He did it, I thought. But yeah, it comes out, he's coming to his house. So that's quite frightening. And I wasn't even sure if Nick knew that he was coming to Melbourne.
Yeah, and I'd be shitting myself if I was old mate Cody. But
They've got to do something with that, though. That's just screaming
yeah,
for content.
I think that's content.
That's screaming for content, or maybe just the truce on live national radio.
Yeah, live truce, breaking
fair.
bread.
I want a live
breaking
truce in
bread.
here.
We'll get him in. We'll get him
Have
in.
we ever
We'll
said
broker a
anything-
deal.
Have we ever said anything nasty about comes out?
Oh, we probably have, yeah.
Maybe I think it's just been fair. You guys are firm but fair.
We are fair but fair. We'll call
But
it
you
as
know
we
what?
say it, mate.
An enemy can always turn into a friend of the pod.
But like speaking of that, like obviously comes out skipping maybe Strickland. We've heard from Dricus and Dricus's camp that he wants to fight in February. So do we reckon comes out, leapfrog Strickland and puts him out in the cold, and that's the fight we get?
Definitely. Well, you got Dricus Duplessis, DDP, honorary Aussie by the looks of it.
He's a
This
bit
guy
Used to be.
loves the Australians.
loves the Australians. He's just getting around the culture,
We've
just
gone hard on
everything.
him on this pod.
We haven't gone hard. We just go Dracus. We like talking in accents. South African accents is quite fun to do.
We go hard on him a bit.
Bit of diplomatic immunity, Matthew. But no, we don't mind
Actually,
Dracus.
no, you did. Remember when he had no oxygen and there was fully
Oxygenated
Dricus.
Dracus. We like him.
undefeated.
We do like him.
Because he had the surgery that has opened up.
He's
Opened
a
up
mythical
worlds.
fighter.
He's
As soon
a
as he got the nasal cavity fixed, he's a fucking animal.
He's a mythical man. It's funny because with DDP, man, he fights like he's wearing jeans, bro. It's just so awkward. It's great.
He's wearing these black denim fucking stranglers. He can't move in them, but doesn't lose.
90s Kevin Nash.
Doesn't lose, and like obviously we've got Hamza coming here in November. What's to say he can just stay the course?
I was going to say,
Go full camp, yeah.
he's not going to come and then come back, is he? So
He took 0 damage.
Yeah.
There is literally no excuse.
I'd love it. As a fight fan,
I'd love
I'm just
that
putting my hand up right now and saying I don't want to watch DDP Strickland.
I don't know.
I really don't want to.
What's the alternative? Strickland, Hamza. What does Hamza do to Strickland then?
I think he fucks him. I think he just takes him down.
Yeah,
Easily.
He wouldn't worry about the awkward striking. Everyone seems to not be able. The Rubik's Cube and
The Philly shell.
He
just walking around awkwardly.
Straight through the Philly, under the Philly shell.
Yeah.
And
And he's smaller than Whittaker as well. So, you got, he's going to ragdoll him.
Strickland doesn't have any. And look, I'm not. I shouldn't be commenting on another man's power, but I don't think he's even got frightening power for him to even eat 3 shots coming in to take him down. He just eat him, take him down like that. You know what I mean? He's not like a knockout guy, so he doesn't even have that fear factor for him to shoot on him. So I think it's pretty obvious that would be pretty one way. I think.
So do we see a Hamza Drikas headline? Do we see after Topuria coming through with that win? Very unfortunate, but very depleting, very debilitating. However, facts are facts.
Yeah.
Right? The guy's a machine.
fuck yeah.
The guy is an absolute machine.
We've had our differences with Ilya Topuria on this pod. Obviously, what he did to our man Volk, but you can't.
Which I still believe is AI generated. By the
It
way.
wasn't even real. Yeah, 100% AI. That's fake. It's fake as fuck. But you can't deny what he just did today. You actually can't deny the man. And even if you don't like him, this, that, whatever, he is him.
Yes.
He is him. But what a class act Volk is, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
mate,
yeah.
Jumped into the octagon, let him have his moment.
It was almost
And
like Volk kind of didn't want to do it too.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like, there's no real heat here. So what are we even doing this for?
Well, I guess it's just the easy setup, isn't it?
It's a good setup.
He's there. He might as well get in
Yeah,
there.
no, it was respectful. I like that. That was the moment where I went, all right, I'm going to stop just like really fucking hating Ilya Topuria. Like it was respectful. I liked it. All respect to him.
Since you don't hate Topuria, if you're in issues, what's next? Sydney? Do you fill out the Bernabeu?
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be Madrid, to be honest. And I don't want that.
Well, we're going to do Bernabeu Bays. We're going to go.
We're going to have to go. I've said that. We said it off air. No matter where Volk fights next, we're going to go. So if it has to be Madrid, it has to be Madrid. But
we might not.
Why
come
not
back.
Sydney?
why not Sydney? I think this is what I think. This is me. Like, what do I know? But
I mean, he didn't take too much damage.
I think he can do the turnaround, no dramas. I just think personally, why would Ilya Topuria? And this is coming from the world's biggest Volk mark. Like, I love the bloke more than my own parents.
I think you told him that.
I think
and
I
you
told
gave
him
him the
that.
keys to your Mustang.
I once told him I'd suck him off too. It's all good.
Listen, man. It's all love.
It's all love, mate. It comes from the heart. But like,
That's what Jono said to you. Have you had a man?
you're not a man till you've had a man.
Yeah, that's what,
apparently. That's what they
that's
say.
what
That's,
fair.
Jono said. So
that's what they
Listen,
say.
man, it's only gay if there's eye contact, yeah?
That's actually a pretty good point. Yeah.
That's what they say in jiu-jitsu.
Pretty good point. No, this is coming from the standpoint of a man that loves Volk and wants to see that fight in Sydney more than anyone. I just don't see why Topuria would do it. And
the UFC would want him in that big stadium in Spain too. It's incredible.
To his credit, I don't think he even needs to accept that fight in Australia. Why would he fly to Volkstown and fight in front of his crowd where he gets that energy? He's been calling for this massive card in Spain for now, 12 months?
Yeah.
It's such an opportunity. I just can't see any way that doesn't happen.
The only way he might do it
I don't know.
is big cash because they got to make a good
Yeah, UFC might come to him and say, we need a fucking headliner for this
big
card.
headliner.
Here
Like
you go.
Volk's here. Like, can we
hope so.
pay you to
Don't get
do
me
it?
wrong.
Right?
But it feels like he thrives on enemy territory.
Yeah.
If anything, Topuria.
But look, this is just my opinion. Obviously, I don't want to say you're wrong or anyone's wrong, but I think he wants to be that superstar, that Conor McGregor kind of thing. He wants that homecoming in front of like fucking what? What are they? They'd actually get 80,000 in there, whatever the fuck it holds. Like they could do it.
Yeah, I think it's 70,
They
80,000.
could do that. He legitimately
Easily.
is a superstar over there.
Not only that, like Europe is so accessible.
Yeah. And
Do
even all
people
you
fly?
see when like Marab goes home to Georgia and when Ilya did, they are legitimately treated like royalty, which is what Volk should get. I said that. Every time Volk goes down to the shops in Windang, he should be getting that fucking.
Well, he's on the farm now.
That's what I mean. Australia doesn't get around the athletes like that, but over there they are celebrity, like superstars.
What do you think that is in Australia?
I think we're
Too laid back.
too laid back, but we're also we've got sport. What are just fucking sport everywhere? Sports,
Different culture.
Yeah, like we got so much
But it's also tall poppy syndrome.
potentially.
A bit of that as well. Like,
But
it
it's
feels.
not. It is 100%. But it's not like there's Tall Poppy against Volk. There's no one really.
Yeah.
There's no one like no detractors of Volk. It's not Tall Poppy that we're all turning on him.
Yeah.
It's just we don't have the culture, especially for fighting. We don't have that culture where, I don't know, it's disappointing because he should get that kind of, he should be cutting home on the airport, landing, and there should be 1,000 people there, but there just isn't.
It's weird.
It is super weird, considering a former world champion now, hopefully sooner world champion again. But, you're talking.
What would you, this might be a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Please do.
What would you rather, Volk fighting in Sydney and winning in front of home fans, or Volk going in to the Spain and fighting in front of 80,000?
Is it the Bernabeu? Is that Real Madrid or is it
Bernabeu?
It is, isn't it?
And beating him in front of and just silencing the.
I'd get.
What would you rather though? Because we've seen him in Perth. We've been there live and experienced that. And if he had won that, the joint would have actually collapsed.
Which I still argue.
He won that.
He won that.
He did win that.
That walk home to the Perth, that walk back to the Perth hotel was just so flat.
It's like
I've never been so
in a daze. Yeah, it was like being in a daze, just like a zombie. Like, what the fuck happened? Because you know why? I think it's because we were all there and in the crowd, we were all wrapped up in the moment, and we all honestly thought. He won round 2, he won round 3. So we were going 2-2 into the 5th.
There were so many people doing 2-2s.
It has to be 2-2. We're it just has to be 2-2. And then he just bashed the fuck out of him in the 5th.
2-2s.
And we all just lost our mind. Oh my God, he's done it. He did it. He did the impossible.
We were screaming, he's done it.
We were screaming, holy shit, he's done it, right? Yeah. And then we went into the scorecards. And then as soon as that, because it was different scorecards, and as soon as they said 49-46, I immediately thought,
no.
Oh, fuck, he's lost it. Because I knew he can't get He wasn't going to get 49-46. So as soon as he said that, I went, oh, shit, he's lost it. And then it was just the flattest thing ever.
So, imagine that happened in Spain for Topuria. Imagine how flat they'd be.
As long as we go to either of them, so just say we're there. I actually would rather it in Spain. Yeah, that'd be sick.
That'd be hectic.
How good would being in Spain? You'll come.
Sure. 100%.
We might not come home, though.
I'm Moroccan, so I'll just fly over.
There you go.
Yeah, man. 1 hour. Visit family. And Volka's family as well.
Yeah, Maltese.
There you go.
So, got
the Falcons.
Well, we're putting that. We're going right. So this is we're time stamping.
We'll do a live pod on the road. This would be good.
Sure.
This would be good.
Teddy's coming with us.
Yeah,
that's it. Whoever we can get on the pod,
we're
jumping in. Get them all on.
So look, your question.
We should have hit up. We should. I don't know him at all, but we should have Portelli, get a plane, get a who the fuck plane, get him to take the crew over.
Now we're mates with old Adrian. Right?
You
mates with him?
We can organise that. No, never met him.
You shoot your shot. He's doing that well. He might like it. It'll be fun. Do the plane. Hutchie sends the people to when he sent the Western Bulldogs fans.
Maybe turn it into a giveaway.
Correct.
You're hosted by who the fuck are these guys?
One lucky
and
winner.
Teddy, all the way to Madrid. Yeah. Flight sorted, everything sorted. And he gets to jump on the potty.
Yeah, I like that.
And you become a friend of the pod.
You do. There you go.
Yeah, we'll contact him after this, I reckon. But
Cocko should reel that up. We'll post it and really fish for him.
Portelli, friend of the pod. Volk, I think it's going to be Spain. What do you reckon?
I think, look, I'd love for it to be in Australia.
Of course.
But it just makes so much sense from a business aspect and as well, you defend the title like that. You knock out someone who hasn't been knocked out or even knocked down before. Yeah. And then
incredible.
Absolutely in incredible fashion, I think he gets what he wants.
Yeah.
But as well, with the post-fight interview, I think he sort of presented I grew up watching Holloway. So hopefully he can honour Volk by saying I grew up watching him. I'll give him that one last fight in Australia.
I'd love that.
And you know what? If I'm going to do that sort of handover of the torch, I want to do it in your country.
Yeah, respect.
And vice versa.
Then maybe we could look at, maybe he's thinking, all right, I'll do that. And then I can go to the Bernabeu against let's say Conor McGregor late in the year.
Oh, boy.
That would make sense. Do a Bernabeu McGregor.
Well, we're doing Bernabeu Conor.
Well, that's what I mean. We're going we'll go to the Bernabeu no matter what happens. But that could be maybe our only chance of maybe getting Sydney because they put that.
They carried him. They say, if you do this for us and you beat him, we'll do that for you. That's it.
Here we go. Now we're talking.
Jeez, we're doing well here.
We're doing very well. This is matchmaking 101.
Conor did tweet out, call me.
Yeah,
say that.
I popped for it.
Connor's always out there tweeting, but he
Did you see his predictions today? It was the best.
He lost 500 grand. I saw that.
He goes, Robert Whittaker, he's going to knock it. And then he just got them both wrong like us.
Max Holloway, knock out, good lad.
Yeah. It's just like, you did what we did. You got excited.
But I felt like everyone went for the underdogs in this card.
We were all, it's all with your heart, wasn't it? But I thought, Max could have won that fight. It's not like, Max looked good.
Yeah, Max looked
good. And I just assumed that his chin was unpenetrable, but I guess.
Problem is, Volk looked really good too.
Yeah.
When he fought him.
And
he just has one, if you just get hit, it's actually like a cheat code.
He's
Like,
he's got cheat code power.
You can have your best-
99 power.
you can have your best 24 and a half minutes against him in a title fight. All he needs is one moment, which is just frightening, I reckon.
I think I've been holding on to like Volk's chin was compromised from the Islam kick, and that's the only reason that he got beaten. But I reckon we've just seen what he did to Max. I think he has that power. I think it wasn't Volk's chin being compromised. I think Ilya just is a freak.
And I think as well, like after knocking out Holloway, you've got the respect, I guess, of the division, if not the whole UFC at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that power from a featherweight too.
Unbelievable.
You know, that's sort of like light heavyweight spec power.
And we've talked a lot about Topuria and Volkan, but what's next for Max? This is the big thing. He's
Max-
still got which is just weird that he's got the BMF belt because he got knocked out. So
Well,
you shouldn't have.
Jorge had it for years.
Yeah,
and he
but you
got
shouldn't
knocked
have
out.
the belt. It should just be. It's all the UFC is obviously keeping it because that's another mark that they can market as a main event, even though he's lost. Right? You go, oh, Max.
Get out of jail free card.
Correct. But it's disappointing. I think the whole thing of the essence behind it is being.
Well, it was already the essence was cooked. I always used to say it's a
it's true.
stupid fake belt. Why is Jorge walking around with it when he just got knocked out like multiple times? He got beaten and he still had it. To me, the belt had no fucking essence until like Max Holloway got it.
Of course, it's a Mickey Mouse belt, and I feel like with the BMF, it should be just that once at the end of the year, the BMF of the year.
And they should even
Just
just do
award it. Yeah, I like
Award
it.
it, you
Like,
get the
that's
belt, and that's like a nice little souvenir.
and then Dan
you
Hooker
get
can
to
just have it.
Or you could
Forever,
do
like-
you could do with like a call or a throwback to the old school where they used to fight a few times in a night. And you have a
They've been talking
tournament.
about the
Like
tournament.
imagine just having guys that are maybe not always like the champions but just bad dudes, right? And you have them
people that just have that respect
and have them
Always.
fight in the one night, and that would be a huge pay per view. Like who wouldn't want to see that, right?
That's better than a fight night.
They did talk about it. Obviously, you got
Yeah.
Hooker, Poirier, Gagey, Max. You could just do that 4-man tournament.
But it feels like all these BMFs are in the 155.
Well, I know, yeah. And then you want to talk about fighter of the year. We thought Alex Pereira, a friend of the pod, had it wrapped up, but I think Ilya Topuria has to be fighter of the year at the end of the year when they award those little.
Stack them up. What,
I think anyone on this planet that knocks out Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway back to back, I don't give a fuck who you are. He's the fighter of the year.
so two, he's fought twice.
Those two are better than beating Yuri, fucking
Jamal
Khalil, and Jamal Hill. Like they are. They just are. I love Pereira. Don't get me wrong. Incredible year.
No, you sometimes
He
got to
saved-
talk it out there though.
Saved all those cards, but like you just can't go past Ilya.
No,
sure.
yeah, I think
In
you're
my
right. I think that's,
He might be, but I think as well he'll get it on based on the fact that the guy carried the UFC this year. Pereira just
He did,
jumped in.
and he's unbelievable. Don't get me wrong. But if I was voting, it was like one of those little like ballots where all the media put in. I'd be ticking Ilya Topuria for mine.
Wow, this is full circle from you.
I wouldn't even let his face be shown on the podcast.
No, I actually
a bit of
no.
censorship for a bit.
Fuck him, Pereira. I'm sticking.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Ah, fuck me. So what-
Poatan, friend of the pod.
yeah, no, he's a friend of the pod.
So
No, you're
I'm
right, actually.
team.
All
I'm
right.
team Poatan. That's right. And I'll never forgive Topuria for having to witness what he did to our man. So no, he fucking
Still AI generated.
Yeah, correct.
Any
Correct.
other fights on the card, Teddy? The Oral Bay fight up against Rebecca was sick. Did you get to watch that one?
No, I managed to sleep through it, unfortunately. But for performance at a night, so 50 Gs.
It was an incredible fight. That dude, man, like he looks prehistoric, old Oral Bay. His head is just, he
Genghis Khan vibes, huh?
got that. He's got those vibes. There was a war. He got dropped, bashed. His eye was completely fucked. He was bleeding. They just went to war, and he took over in the third round. He just can't be stopped. That was a good fight. If you can get a copy of it, go home and watch it.
Definitely.
Fight all day.
It was fight of the night.
Fucking
clearly.
Yeah.
What do you say? He looked prehistoric.
He looks prehistoric, mate. He looks like a fucking
Assembled uniquely, man.
caveman. Like he looks like a different type of operator.
That part of the world is just built different, man.
And Biggie Boy.
Yeah, Chris Barnett, Biggie Boy. No, not Biggie Boy, Beast Boy.
Beast Boy.
Beast Boy.
Beast Boy. He did his hammy. He twanged his hammy.
That's such a
The
like.
size of him.
That's such an amateur.
Yeah.
He's 5'9". He weighs 267 pounds.
He's 100
I'm the biggest loser, bro.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Don't
Like,
get him on the UFC, man. Bro, and this is my problem with the heavyweight division. Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys could be light heavyweights if they just
Yeah.
stopped being lazy pricks.
that's 100% what it is, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, like you look at like every single light heavyweight, it just looks like a very healthy heavyweight, and they still hit just as hard. And then
You should do one of your little segments around
100%.
what this heavyweight fighter's body says about them.
Just start clipping all the heavyweights.
yeah, of course, man. But yeah, no, honestly, like dude, like heavyweights are just unhealthy light heavyweights, and you can't change my mind.
You can watch. I like that. Clip it up. That's fantastic. 100% true though, because there's like a top 5, maybe top 8 that are like pristine athletes, and then it is just a bunch of fucking dudes that probably should drop 40 pounds.
Yeah, just kegs, man.
And we've spoken to Junior Tafa's manager, and he thinks and has advised him that he could carry his power down into the light heavyweight, and he'd be a big light heavyweight. And
He could do it, and he has fought light heavyweight in the past.
Correct.
I'd like to see
there's
him do
guys
it.
like that are on the fringe, and kind of that would be a potentially open up some doors. And then you see Big Kennedy injection. He's gone up.
He went up. He's 6'5". He's huge, Kennedy.
But he didn't look great in his body. That's how I agree with this. He's lazy, right?
Wow, maybe it was killing him to get to 205. I don't know, but it was his first fight at heavyweight. He looked pretty good, but yeah, he did his hammy, old fucking beast boy, so it wasn't great. But he didn't look good. He's just too small. He's trying to do those crazy wheel kicks and stuff. Like, it worked once, but it's not going to work again.
No.
So, but that's the problem. All these people spam buttons and just think like something and hope for the best, right? Not everyone's Derek Lewis, right?
No. And obviously we spoke about Pereira. There was potential future opponents fighting today,
Was there?
wasn't there?
Was there?
Uncle Ive and Rakic.
Oh, of course. Yes.
How can we forget that fight?
I was
I know
laying in the
why- I
bunk
know why
bed.
we forgot
I was
it.
laying in the bunk bed still,
'Cause
I
it's
think, pissed. So
boring.
I was then thinking, I had a panic. I'm like,
I personally
was
don't
I
give a
watching
fuck
an old
about that.
fight? I was on YouTube watching an old fight. Like my dad always does this, right? I'm shit you not. We haven't bagged him for a while on the pod, Johnson, but he'll text me. He'll be like, oh, son, I just watched like X v X on YouTube. I'm like, Dad, that happened 6 years ago. Oh, okay. Come on,
He's
mate.
trying.
Well, it's funny because he thought it like happened like on the weekend.
Oh, righto.
But it's like, no, like that was 6 years ago. Like,
Yeah. No, well, I forgot about that fight because I personally don't give two fucking shits about either of them, to be honest. Ankalaev,
Wasn't
Rakic.
that impressive? Like the only thing that really took me by shock is Ankalaev's power. Like that was like he had a few hits where I was like, ooh, I just did not expect
He's
that from him.
powerful, yeah, but like he is a decision fighter at the end of the day. Like he goes to decisions like it's going out of style.
He does.
Rakic is like just, I don't want to see either of them fight Pereira, to be
Rakic
honest.
is a little bit frustrating in a sense. He looks great. You just think he should be more dynamic than he is. The other guy's boring, talks a big game, but never like. So he's always talking and I'm the next guy. I'm going to knock out. But he never knocks out his current opponent that he's fighting. He never does anything exciting, and he has all these opportunities to
And
continue.
people like think because he's like a Dagestani, whatever he is, a Russian, they just assume he has this crazy wrestling, but he doesn't.
Nah.
Doesn't. I think the stat today called out was like 41% rate takedown.
Doesn't
Yeah.
do anything. So it's like he'll go in and fight Pereira and like think he can stand with him. So
And it's going to be very good seeing his eyes roll back.
I can't wait for it. And Rakic, as you said, he's like the VFL footballer that gets 40 touches every week and then goes into the seniors and just can't quite get the footy.
That's a great one.
That's
He
what
is,
he
yeah.
is. That's what he is.
There's many of them.
Yeah, a lot of journeymen, unfortunately.
Few list
But
cloggers.
that's the sport. That's
sport.
the sport,
Brutal
and it is
sport.
what it is.
Brutal
But talking about heavyweights, going back on the heavyweights, obviously we've got New York coming up. John Jones.
Yes.
John Jones.
Professional
Dana White's,
segue. That was professional segue.
Dana White's favourite.
He is his
If he
favourite.
walks into this room, he's the only one walking out.
We're done for.
We're fucked.
Well, we've never seen the Mako Shark. You could have elbow. I've seen your elbows.
Well, I've never been punched and I've never punched anyone. So that's a pretty good record. Like, I'm untested.
Considering the
Hey,
amount
man,
of-
look, he's undefeated, 0-0.
Yeah,
What else do you want?
No
from
one's
him?
tested me.
and even when you got glassed, it wasn't really a glassing.
When did I get glanced?
We don't want to go overdo it, but when you got the thing, even that wasn't a real. That could have
I
been
got swilled at a boxing event by
with
someone.
your
We'll
own
talk
thing
about that off
pushed
air.
into
but
your face.
That didn't scare me.
That still wasn't a proper attack.
Didn't scare me.
So,
Just the scratch? Just the scratch?
No, but John Jones, Stipe. Look,
What
this
happens
is-
there?
Oh, I think we all know what happens, don't we?
I'm
Stipe
talking
knocked him
post.
Oh, post,
fight.
yeah, because we all know what's going to happen, yeah?
No, post gloves. Post fight. Put the gloves down.
Yeah. I think he will.
You can step out and knock him out.
So the real question is, does John Jones put the gloves down after
Yeah,
this?
100%.
Well, I saw Dana White talking during the week, and he said, like, yeah, of course he's going to talk about retiring. He's going to put the gloves down, and then he'll come and start negotiating. It's like a he thinks negotiating tactic. Claim that I'm retired. You want me to fight Tom Aspinall? Give me some fucking...
He won't fight Tom Aspinall.
Give me some
You heard it here first. There's no way.
I think this, all that glazing leading up to this is maybe just trying to sweeten the deal.
Maybe. Just trying to get him to stick around, maybe. I don't know. Do you reckon? Do you reckon he'll... I don't... Obviously, is he the GOAT? Probably, right? Does he stick around? Does he have anything to prove? Does he have to fight Tom Aspinall?
He couldn't have many fights left, so he was sweetening a deal. He's only probably got one or two after this anyway, really.
Sweetening the deal as well, like just passing the torch, yeah?
Yeah,
A lot of
should.
these fighters should pass the torch.
But, like, fuck, man. This is people's lives. Like, I don't think he necessarily has to pass the torch because it's his life, it's his brain. He's the best ever. He's got nothing to prove. Why would you, just to pass the torch and make other people happy, potentially go out there and get knocked the fuck out at the end of your career? Because it could happen. So Aspinall's a bad man.
Tom Aspinall, John Jones.
Yeah.
How do you see it playing out?
I don't know exactly how I do see it playing out, but it's very likely that Aspinall could fuck him up. And then John Jones, why do you want to retire getting knocked out? He could just walk off into the sunset like Khabib sort of style, and I wouldn't begrudge him for doing that.
I think the vibe that I get is almost like the Hamza Whittaker vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everyone just thinks like, yeah, Aspinall's the one that's going to sort of put an end to it, and then maybe John Jones just comes and steamrolls him.
He could.
Everyone's overlooking Stipe.
Nah, of course we're looking at it. Look,
He's got power in his hands.
Inactivity.
That's what's probably
age,
going to be.
inactivity.
Everyone's just thinking ahead. Like, if he lands a big shot on him,
I think John wins.
probably wins or will win.
John,
but we
pretty
keep
easily.
we keep talking about it as if there's no.
He hasn't fought since that day he got literally murdered by
it's frightening.
Francis Ngannou, like murdered.
Remember we giggle about that.
Well, the
'cause-
last time that fight happened, I didn't have kids.
Yeah,
So this is the level of inactivity we're talking.
that's an extreme level of inactivity.
that is true.
Well, you probably didn't have kids either.
I wouldn't hate kids. No, I got a 5 and a 2.
2019, like, yeah, you did. I think, yeah, a lot's happened in the interim. So, like, I just don't see how he beats John Jones.
He probably doesn't, but you got to remember that he's one of the all-time great heavyweights, and he's in there, and
it's
he's,
combat sports.
He's always been
One
the guy
punch.
that spoils.
One punch changes everything.
He's a guy that in his rise, and when he was doing it, he was winning when people didn't want it. Like, he was like seen as a kind of a boring because he didn't have the big personality. No one really wanted him to. He just kept winning and kept winning and kept winning, and he's one of the all-time greats at heavyweight. And we just forget. And Jones only had a very small portion at heavyweight and fought a bloke.
He fought one blow.
That's what I mean. And he gave up. And this guy's fought some of the best. And if you look at his resume, Stipe, it's unbelievable who he's beaten.
Of course.
And guys that weren't over the hill. They were he beat the guys when they were the guys. So he'll be, I reckon.
Look, if this fight was 4 years ago, I think it's 100%. It's maybe you're 50-55. But I reckon, as you said, inactivity has to play a role.
has to
Age,
play,
man.
has to play a role, and I think as well, like everyone's just looking so far ahead of this fight that we actually forget that Oliveira and Chandler are fighting under it.
Fight. That's a sick fight.
Olive.
Although I still think Oliveira just washes him. Well, no,
I agree.
But then again, if Chandler lands,
Yeah.
Well, I still can't believe actually that he 10-8'd. He 10-8'd Charles.
We just
in that
keep
first
doing.
fight.
yeah, the devil's advocate here. Just if someone lands, they're finished.
It is true.
But he did. He 10-8'd Charles Oliveira in that first fight, Michael Chandler. He was literally that close from being the champion in that fight. It was incredible. So, yeah, anything's possible.
Anything's possible, and I think as well, it's going to be the laugh of, Chandler waited this long. He was inactive as well, waiting for
Inactivity.
Conor.
Do you reckon he got a little under the table sort of bonus from them for because Conor kind of led him along and he maybe, do you reckon?
Having the fight postponed that last sort of week or two, whatever it was, surely they gave him something.
Because he could have fought 4 times and made the same money. So it's weird, right? It's obviously he was just desperate to get that on his resume fighting Conor, but he's no spring chicken, Michael. So he's, I feel like he's made an error. He'll look back on that, I think, one day and be like, could have gone and won 3 or 4 fights, made big money, propelled myself, and not worried about that. So I think it's weird that he did that. I think it's very strange.
Yeah, even like the ranking system of the UFC, how like someone can be waiting 3 or 4 fights and still be ranked.
Yeah. He just still he's like
So
ranked
bizarre.
3, whatever the fuck he is
Yeah.
still. Yeah, just
Who does the rankings?
It's an algorithm, surely.
No, it's
Spreadsheet?
it's a bunch of media members in the United States. Like just random. There's like a whole bunch of them. I've read about it a while back, but it's like 20, 30 different outlets. And there's people that put votes in and do it. Like, I don't know who they are. I don't even think they disclose who they are, but it's just a bunch of like
That
media and
feels
journalists.
backwards of a way to do it.
This is what AI is going to take over.
Yeah, well, Dana White's pushing for that. He hates him. He hates him with a passion.
He does.
Which makes sense, I guess. Like, they had fucking Holloway ranked at 9 or some shit in the light heavyweight after he knocked out Gagey, and Gagey was still 3. So it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
How do you even get to that?
That makes sense.
Combat sport maths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
combat sport maths.
Ridiculous. So, yeah, that's November.
That's
Pushing-
November.
what else
And then
we-
one last fight that I want to pick your brain on.
Yes.
Got the Bully B, Shavkat. He's going up against the killer,
Killer.
Shavkat.
Yeah, scariest man in the division.
Scariest man in the division.
Yeah, Shavkat
and I think
Washington.
the scariest part is the guy can't speak English.
He's got that aura about him. He's got that Pereira aura. Whereas not speaking English, like it almost helped his personality and it helped his star factor, I reckon, which is not normally how it goes, but definitely helped Pereira with just his fucking staunch scariness. It's helping Shovkat.
How many finishes? 17?
17 from 17, yeah. It's 100% finish rate.
Going up against
Mr. Decision.
Mr. Decision. Remember the decision.
Yeah, he'll be a.
Look, I don't want to. I always clip these dudes, and then they end up just keep winning and stuff. Like I did it with Dry. I've done it with Drygus, done it with Strickland. They just keep winning. But yeah, can he beat Shovkat? Like fuck, I don't reckon.
Man, it'd have to be a crazy camp for him to beat Shovkat.
Well, how would he beat him?
He's got to wrestle his dick off. Like Shovkat has that aura of being a sick wrestler as well, but he's not Khabib level wrestler. He's more of like a stand-up operator.
He's an MMA fighter.
He's just an all-rounder. Yeah, he's an all-rounder. So I think Bilal will want to wrestle the fuck out of him from go to woe. That's his way to win, surely.
Oh,
Does he call on Islam Khabib? Sort of help him with the
He's
camp?
done that, hasn't he? He did that last fight, yeah? He went with Khabib and stuff. So yeah, he'll be doing that.
Rolling with the
100%
Dagestani
he'd be-
boys.
yeah. I might call on them before our next pod. Have a roll.
Have a roll with the boys.
Wow, it seems
Bring
to
a
work.
bear in. We can bring a bear in right now.
Well, it seems to work, right? You have a roll with them, you win belts.
They're fucking freaks, all of them.
We
aren't
have a roll with them, we fucking.
I have never, ever seen anyone so defeated in training like
Really?
that Khabib video of Bilal, Islam.
Yeah.
I have never, ever seen
completely fatigued.
depleted. Everyone was just staring into the abyss. What the hell is going on
We've done here.
after a training session?
But that makes me think how good Volk, like, go back to Volk, how good's Volk when his cardio was just wailing on Islam? Like,
Not just that, I think as well, like, I think a lot of people overlook Craig Jones.
oh, shit, yeah.
Craig Jones is a gun. He might
Absolute.
talk a lot of shit.
Nah, he's one
I
of
know
the-
Craig Jones probably
I want
somewhere
him
out
on
there.
this pod.
Second
Yeah,
best in the
100%.
world.
I want him on this pod urgently.
Second best in the world, but this guy is nuts.
He's a fucking legend,
He's
mate.
a legend at a game,
He'd be
and
good on this
obviously a great coach. And I think as well, like this having the same size as Islam probably would have helped Volk
a lot.
so much, man.
Yeah. But, like, no, I think it's such a shame that he lost that fight because it's like one of those sliding door moments in the world. Like, if he just had won that fight, he would have been the double champ. He would never have had to take anything short notice. None of this would be happening right now if he just had won that fight.
If he had won that fight, what would have been next for him?
He would have kept the division busy. He said that. So he still would have gone and fought
Rodriguez?
Yair and just washed him. Mm-hmm. And then,
Topuria
who
comes
knows?
and takes 2 belts, or like,
Well, maybe, but
yeah.
his next fight after that would have been probably 155, defend that against like Justin Gaethje or something. And I think he would have beaten Justin Gaethje.
There were so many good fights that could have been
He
there.
had so many
Disappointing.
fights. Before he got head kicked, he just had so many fights. I'll never get over it.
Busy end of the year, and there's also a boxing fight that everyone's forgetting too.
I'm not. Go with it though.
Fury Usyk too. You just
huge
forget.
fight.
Everyone
Huge
just
fight.
forgets. I'm a big Fury man.
this is how much brain rot I have. I was thinking about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
but
there's
that's
that,
that's huge, right? And yeah, like he's going to want to get one back. So I'm excited for that as a Fury man. And I thought it was funny though, Usyk getting him to sign. I don't know if you saw it. He bought a briefcase and had where he smacked him, and he signed. Like it's funny, right?
He's pretty underrated with his little crispy sort of stuff.
Great humor,
Yeah.
great sense of humor, and the Hitman outfit, and just everything, man.
Music.
Greedy belly. It was very good. But this is what we thought when we watched it. Fury was on top in that fight.
He was.
And you almost can't listen to what he says sometimes because he talks a lot of shit and he's very confident in himself. But he was controlling that fight in the first sort of half of it, and he probably did get complacent and got clipped. So, mate, people will probably just think, easy work Usyk in the rematch. But no, I reckon keep your eye on Tyson Fury.
You've got
He can win this fight.
busy end of the year though. It's bloody exciting with that. Like you just forget that just slots in like 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah, how good's that? That's sick.
You gotta love Saudi, man. They just don't
Yeah.
care, man. Public holidays, nothing matters, man.
Yeah,
They'll get it in.
yeah.
Had Friday night boxing fights,
Yeah.
you know.
That's always annoyed us here. That they always put the boxing on midweek, but I think it was something to do with like they didn't want to go up against.
Australia.
AFL and
It was-
NRL,
But yeah, like
it was footy based. That
yeah,
was the culture.
but like
yeah.
it would be so much better if you could go along on a Friday night as opposed to like a Tuesday or Wednesday. We went the other week. It was nightmarish trying to
It's
get
always
home.
so late. Boxing just so late. It always drags on. It drags on. It's like it's Wednesday night, bro. The main hasn't started. I got to go to bed. It's too much.
You got a tank for us this week?
Look, I got a tank, and you cannot change my mind, Teddy. I wanted to go with a little bit of a collaboration here. I know you're known for it.
We haven't even gave him a shout out. Well,
Yeah, we're going to give him a shout. Don't worry about that. But I got a Shark Tank for you, and you cannot change my mind. I'm telling you right now, right? Grown adult men that don't sleep nude, you're no good. Grow up. You cannot change my mind. If you are a grown-up man and you don't sleep in the nude, Matthew, I think you are nowhere. You got to grow up. There's no excuse for sleeping in pajamas, footy shorts, a T-shirt. Mate, I don't know what you do. You'll tell me in a second. I don't know what you do.
You've obviously not seen he did a thing on this.
You did not. A sleeping nude segment.
Man.
No, he didn't.
He did.
I have received double digits in comments and messages asking me how I sleep.
Nude, surely.
He did a segment on this just like 3 days ago.
If you don't sleep naked, you're missing out.
You
can't change my mind.
Give it to me. I swear to God I didn't see this.
And I think, bro, listen, the best part about sleeping naked. No, before we go to the best part, everyone says, bro, if you're sleeping naked, how are you going to fight? Like if someone breaks in and everything, yeah?
Balls in their face.
And I'm just like, bro, what's scarier than seeing this hairy Sasquatch run at you?
Mate, shit.
If you're in my property.
No, I'd shit if I broke in your property and you come run at me nude. You would shit. But if you had clothes on, you would be less. You'd be like, okay, I'm just going to stab you.
If I'm
but
breaking
if a guy's
into
running
a
at you
house,
with his dick running, like you're not going to stab you. Drop with a knife and run it.
Of course, man.
100%. I didn't know you did this. Fuck you. I didn't know.
You're shithousing, mate. You just did a whole thing on it.
When was this? You tell me. When did you do this?
I did this a while ago, but I reposted it recently.
Oh, there you go. See, I missed that.
He did it. He just did that.
But I'm telling you, you don't sleep nude, do you? That's why you're upset about it.
No, I sleep nude with a T-shirt.
That's not nude.
Dick out, T-shirt on.
It's not nude.
T-shirt?
Yeah, what's he doing? Grow up.
Oh, man.
I get cold.
Put a blanket
Haven't
on,
heard of technology, blankets.
I sleep nude with a T-shirt.
What? Dick's out. Dick's nude.
Dick's but like, you got to go nude, mate. Unencumbered. You got to be just completely free and easy.
Exactly, man.
I'll do it tonight.
You need
I'll report back.
Silk to skin action, you know?
You need it. I got a lot of people that I've talked about, and they're like, no, I would never do that. They wear pajamas. Could you imagine being grown up wearing pajamas?
Imagine wearing matchy pajamas.
For this day, next door neighbour came out the other day. Look, a lovely guy, but I've never seen anything more unsexy than what this bloke was running. He had full-blown dressing gown, like I'm talking a big banger of one, right? Then he had matching pajamas as a grown man at like long matching pajamas, moccasins on, and I'm just thinking, has he gotten out of bed? Like you're not. I don't know what his bedroom home life is like, but I know like that's surely not getting the juices flowing.
You try to root, you got to take off 9 layers.
And she sees him. And he's got stupid patterns, like the Grinch or something on it. Like, that's not going to get her going, surely. Like,
it's ridiculous.
Hey, there's a niche for everything, man.
I guess, but
I
just looked at him and giggled.
A bit of green, you're like, ooh.
I giggled because it was when you'd reposted. That's what, and I was like, wow, I wish I could show you this guy because you'd have an aneurysm like looking at him.
Oh, the moccasins will throw me off completely, bro. If I see moccasins on your feet, whew.
Question, do you have a weapon next to your bed?
No.
Do you?
I've got a golf club.
Golf club's good.
Yeah.
Golf club? Yourself golf club as well?
I don't. No, I think my missus might have a golf club under her end of the bed. But when Phil Hughes. Was Phil Hughes that died when he got hit by the cricket ball? Years ago. When he died, we put the cricket bat out in honour of him.
Yes.
And we've just kept the cricket bat next to the front door just in case. I would just say,
you're giving them a weapon?
We'll just leave it there. And if they break in, I've got a cricket bat ready to go, yeah. Cricket bat ready.
I can't believe you didn't see his segment. And that was your big segment.
That means I'm a real comedic talent. We're on the same wavelength here.
Or you saw it.
No, I promise
and
you.
And you just thought, I'm going to pretend that I didn't see it.
It'd be the dumbest thing I could ever do. We're the worst.
It's got us talking. It's a talking point.
I swear to God. But you're on the pod. What do you got coming up? What are we doing? Let's get to talk about you for a second.
Let's actually understand how he's built. You've done a very good job, what you do for us, but he's managed to get into unbelievable areas, this man.
You're a phenom.
Man, I'm just having fun, honestly. Like, been uploading videos for the past 3 years and just being at it. Like, bro, there's nothing to it but just keep uploading content, having a laugh. Consistency. That's what that matters. Yeah, you just keep showing up for the people and the people keep showing up for you. Obviously, the suburb videos have kicked off over the past year, which is always fun.
I like that.
Yeah, like I think that was like a very new concept.
Yes.
Because people like I remember first pitching it and people are like, why would you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, like, isn't it interesting? Like, the way I see it is like when my parents migrated here, and they used to talk about like, back in my days. And I'm like, you know what? If I can make a video where everyone can look at it now and 10 years from now and be like, man, I can't believe the shops used to look like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a timeless piece. And I'm just like, you know what? Let me do it.
Yep.
And I did a couple of them and it just kicked off.
Blew up.
Yeah. And that sort of really catapulted
like have
everything.
people, that give you sort of inside scoops of, or do you do your research? Do you go out there, you find areas, talk to people?
50-50. So with the suburbs, you get 50%. Like I just genuinely sit there and do my research. I think people just see a 1-minute video or a 1-hour podcast of yours and think like, there's nothing going into this. But really, there's a lot of research. And then naturally, when, like I said, man, you put in effort, people put in effort for you. People send me messages, but like, come to my area. Make sure you talk about this, that. Or I'll put up a story. Hey, tomorrow I'm in this area. And then people will just reach out, be like, actually, I've visited that area. Try the fish and chips there. And I'm like, then I go there. It's the most dingiest place, man. Well, they almost try to kill me off. But and that's it, man. But coming up, man, I'm just having fun. Honestly, got some shows hopefully next year.
Yes.
But, just this tail end of the year, I'm just really just chilling. And
how'd you find that jump from doing like online videos, which is one thing, it's its own niche, to like fucking like actual stand-up comedy on a stage or doing a live show is so different.
Definitely, man.
Terrifying?
I feel so nauseous every single show that I do. Because everyone's main feedback whenever they do see me live, they're like, man, you seem a bit off. And I'm like, bro, you don't understand how nauseous I feel on stage, right?
Yeah.
The anxiety is absolutely ridiculous, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, with videos, like obviously I can do 5 takes, edit it however I want.
Yeah, 100%.
And I go on stage and it takes me a bit to get warmed up, right?
Yeah.
When I did my solo, so I did a full hour on stage, that was good because you get that first 10, 15 minutes, shake off the rust.
Did a full hour on stage?
Yeah, done a full hour on stage. The most I've done was Sydney, an hour and 15, hour 17.
Fuck.
That was crazy. But then again, the crowd gave me the energy. So I was just like...
Once you know you've got them and they're there for you, I guess that would help the nerves.
And you can take risks as well. You see someone in the crowd, you're like, I'm coming for you.
Is it just all material, like actual stand-up, or are you doing crowd work? And
All material, man. Like, I don't feel too comfortable doing crowd work, having a laugh with people. I think, especially for my first time out, you don't want to do anything too fancy. Because then, like, you could just, miscalculate or misjudge someone. Yeah. And they look at you like, I think this guy's a dickhead.
Yes.
And then, you don't want to throw people off. So I'm like, you know what, I'll just stick to the jokes. Put in like that 30% of content I've already done online. So, because dude, my first show I did was in Gold Coast. Went out, performed, I did a full hour set. I hopped off stage, took some photos, I went back to the hotel. The first message that I opened up, hey, I was really disappointed in your show. It was nothing like your videos.
Oh, come off it.
And I was just like, bro, like I'm sitting in a Mazda
you've killed me.
in Greenvale.
How's it going to translate you?
How is it going to translate, number one?
Yeah.
And number two, it's my first time ever doing anything.
give
I'm
you-
sure, bro, you look back to the first time you go with the girl and now with the missus.
Yes.
Right, it's 2 different boys, yeah? So, take it easy on me. So,
Do you don't go and do, like, you hadn't gone and just got up, like,
I have.
You had to have gone
So
and
I
looked it out,
Comics
Can't-
Lounge.
at the clubs, yeah.
Yeah.
fuck, man,
Comics
hours.
Lounge.
Like, that's no mean feat. Like, shit.
Dude, I remember saying my first few jokes. I looked up at the iPad and it said 13 minutes. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like when fighters are in the octagon and they're looking at the time, they're sort of like, oh, man, I've got 30 seconds to survive.
Yes, that's you.
That was me. And I looked up and it was only 13 minutes. And I'm like, oh, tonight's going to be a long night.
Obviously, we didn't do the same thing, but we did the live shows with Alex Pereira.
How was that?
And we're just a couple of morons. We're not anything, right? We're just winging it. Everything we do, we're winging, right? We're doing this live show with Alex Pereira, a fucking superstar, and we're like, what the fuck are we doing, matey? There was a fucking sold out. How many people were there? 1,000 people?
Easily.
And we had to get up and introduce the show before Alex Pereira come out. And we didn't know what we were doing. And we both stood there at the steps waiting to go up. And we both looked at each other and said, should we just leave right
We
now?
said, what would be the worst
What will
thing
happen
if
if
we
we
just
just leave,
left?
Just fuck this. I can't do it.
That's it.
But we did it. And we went, well, we can't. We're just going to go. And we just walked out there cold, which was, we actually look back, it was a mistake. We need someone to introduce and let the crowd know it's about, because we just walked up cold.
You got to earn the respect of the crowd. I think
That's what I mean.
That's
And we
most
went out
important.
there and thought, we'll do a few minutes of material and get them on our side, and then we'll introduce Pereira. And we just went shit gags, silence. And we went, I think we looked at each other and went, we're fucked here.
I think we clipped them.
You clipped them. You were like, we're trying to get a Charmer chant going, and they just weren't having it. And then you went, come on, have some fun with it. And then I went,
But then Brisbane, we went out and went, how about Melbourne? They fucking suck. And then they were like, yeah, they're all drunk. And then we had them going. Because
Brisbane was different. They were drunk. It was a Thursday night. They were a bit more excitable. They were already rowdy. So, I thought, fuck it. I'm just going to go and just lay the boots into Melbourne, get them on our side, which was a great idea. They all cheered. We brought Pereira out, and then it was smooth sailing.
Take it from me, performing at home is always the hardest, man. That's why, dude, I did all of Australia, and Melbourne was my hardest show.
Yep.
Because you just feel awkward. You're like, man, maybe I got someone in the crowd that like that personally, and you're just like, you're putting pressure.
That's fucking
well,
that's shit ass. People emailing you though and saying it wasn't like you. It's come off it. So you got that in the back of your head.
Yeah, you got that in the back of your head, and bro, and dude, first time ever doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I've never done 60 minutes. It'll be like throwing me in the octagon now to do 5 rounds. Like, bro, I've never done it.
Correct.
I'm going to gas in the next.
Well, you got
minute.
through it. I'm sure you had some good shows where it all went sick.
100%,
and the feeling
man,
of that
dude.
would have been unreal.
Yeah, of course, man. It was a great experience. As nauseous and as anxious I feel leading up to the stage, it's still a great feeling, and I hope to do it all over again next year.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want to do more content and, just have fun with it, man. And I think the best thing about content is, get to meet great boys like yourselves.
100%. No, it is good. There's a good community out there.
I was just going to say, anyone out there that hasn't liked, subscribed to us, will go and do it to our mate Teddy and go and watch him when his shows come out, because I think
we'll get down to it, I reckon.
Absolutely.
You play the Palais Theatre or something
Or
like
I
that?
think we got to do like a quiz giveaway.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Quiz
We'll do a
giveaway.
Quiz
Great.
giveaway.
Let's do that.
Yeah, we'll put up a few tickets.
Yep.
And we'll get a crew together. And yeah, man. And other than that, that's all really, man.
So 2025, let's look for another tour. It's going to be happening. That's pretty much it.
I plan it around the UFC, so.
smart.
Beautiful.
Always.
Smart.
I like
that's
that.
clever.
Smart operator.
Well,
Well,
Cocko's going to be having an annual. He's going to
we've
be.
gone long here.
He's quiet.
long.
He's looking at
he's going to be angry at us.
Still thinking about your shirt, dicking it to bed. That's thrown me.
I can't believe shirt on, dick
You don't
out.
sleep nude, Cocko. Don't try that cool in front of
Cocko?
these blokes.
I don't think there's a single shirt dicker out there. You were
Shirt dick.
you were giving it to the bloke that's wearing the full kit next door. I bet he's looking at you thinking, "There's old shirt dicker over there."
Shirt dick.
I'm starting a tribe of shirt dick.
Cocko, what do you sleep?
I just wear briefs to keep my.
you got to let
I'm all about keeping it. Keeping it
Big
intact.
mistake, mate. Your
Pensioner,
sperm
man.
count's going to be low. You got to let
Mate,
him breathe.
you
How
gotta-
old are
you
you,
got-
Cock?
you got to be loose or full of juice, bro.
How old's Cocko?
I'm 34.
Nah, you've got no sperm
on,
left,
man.
mate.
That's why,
34 years of brief sleeping, you're cooked.
this is why you've all got kids.
That's right, mate. You're shooting blanks over there. Hey, promise me tonight, sleep without him.
I can promise you I won't be shirt dicking it.
I've slept nude many a time.
Trust me, man,
I just
if-
I like the feeling of the shirt on my tits. It's great.
Look, man, be a shirt dicker, or you sleep naked, and trust me, man, you'll be painting the house 3 coats, man.
Oh, look at that. Volume.
There we go. I get people pregnant just walking past.
That's a fantastic way to end this pod.
was gonna say, we're
Fantastic,
still on.
mate. No, we've got to wrap it up, mate. Mate, Teddy, it's been a pleasure having you on. We'll do this again, I reckon. We'll make it semi-regular. I like having someone to shoot the shit about the fights with.
Well, there's a lot to we could be here forever with him.
We
So
can talk all day.
that's why I will make it semi-regular, mate. Get him on here more.
We will. Anyway, maybe we'll wrap it up. We'll just send the listeners off with something. Just say something.
Yeah, for sure. So, bro, listen, man, if I was you guys, who the fuck, boys? You got to subscribe. You got to make sure you like their shit.
Smart.
Support the boys.
Yep.
Obviously, there's not much quality content out there for combat. It's either complete memes, shit posting, and these boys on the other side putting out quality content. Leave them a 5-star on Spotify. That's more important. Very
good.
important.
Very good point.
Almost as important as subscribing on YouTube.
It's fucking
Yes.
open.
Of course.
Yep.
And then third most important, you got to follow them on Instagram.
Yes, must.
What's the handle?
At Who the Fook Pod.
Ooh, you added the pod at the end. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Who the fuck pod? Get around the boys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and obviously leave a comment, bro. Get the algorithm cranking.
Yeah. This is
You
an
know,
expert.
listen, we're here to support quality MMA content, combat sport content.
Correct.
Full stop.
Correct.
And these boys are doing a good job. Get around it. You can find me at Tedsthetics if you're interested in my content.
Absolutely.
And listen, man, I don't want to be just a friend of the pod. I want to be a family of the pod.
You
Boys,
are, mate. You
Family
are.
of the pod.
Brotherhood.
Oh, brotherhood.
You
That's
actually get some new shirts come out with Family of the Pod shirts. That's good. Only select few get them.
Oh.
This is good. I got 3 or 4 names now. It's it. No more.
Listen, I think maybe pull like a benchmark of like 5 episodes and you get the t-shirt or hoodie.
I love it. I love it. Pleasure to have you on, mate. Let's wrap it up.
fantastic.
Bloody root me.